Are we live? What's happening?
8 followers
Yeah,
active
you
now.
have people watching.
No.
Yeah,
That's not live. But how do you know you're live? We're not live.
There's people watching.
No, those are the followers that are active. That's not who's watching. It's different. Hey, y'all. We getting it together over here. Y'all see all my siblings? Aren't they beautiful? Oh, my God.
Oh,
I'm just over here getting my life together right now.
Oh,
No, don't say that.
No.
got one job to do.
And that's not it. That's how you know you're live.
Oh, now you're live.
Hey, y'all! Do you see how cute my siblings are? Let me introduce you to everybody. The gang's all here. We got
Dante.
my favorite brother.
Almost forgot my name.
No, I was gonna give you a fun name.
Oh.
DK.
Like D-Train or Don Tifla.
Yes. How'd you know?
Don Tifla?
And then we have Shnaz.
Hello.
Tunifra.
Oh, hello.
They're trying to act like they're shy, but listen, y'all, I'm super excited. Okay, for all y'all who got to see, last time I put a picture of you, people asked me if you were single. Ooh,
Oh, nice.
I was like, yeah, he's definitely not available.
Yeah.
There you have the other one. No, Michaela, I got your back.
Kayla's face was like,
Michaela, for all these people wondering if my brother is single, his fiance has a fork in her hand right now. She's like, I just want y'all to know he's definitely not available. He's definitely not available. So you just look at how cute he is and mind your business. That's what she's saying. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah, get in there. All right, y'all. On a real note, today I just wanted to quickly come and chat with y'all about something like stop stopping before you start and then saying it didn't work. How do y'all feel about that? Because I feel like so many people, you're like, so what did you do? And I'll tell you, what's your experience? This guy is a beast in business. You might have to lean in and then I'm going to rotate the camera. Dante, what are your thoughts?
I feel like it's easy to quit, and a lot of people have a conversation with themselves in their head. And that conversation is, they try to reference any type of experience they've done in the past. And so if their dream is too big and it doesn't match any of the experience that they had, then that gap seems unattainable.
Yeah.
And because it seems unattainable, they don't try anyways. But it's that fear in walking to the unknown that gets you anywhere. So
that's so true. How about those great friends who have never done half of the things that you're trying to do, who tell you all the reasons why it won't work?
Yeah, you got to surround yourself with the right people. Like, all the cliches are true. They're cliches and they kind of lose their power because of that. But I feel that if you surround yourself with the right people, you have a deep enough why. Like, you have to have a why, because when things get hard, you're going to revert back to that old self that doesn't believe that you can really achieve that big goal or that big outcome or change your life, right, radically. And so that why is what pushes you past your own barriers, your own limitations. And I was talking to you when you came, and the science.
This is my genius brother, y'all, that I hang out with in my my favorite brother.
The science behind it is, if you have a high ideal, right? So if you have a strong enough why, your body actually produces a thing called dopamine, which is your reward system. So your body goes into its dopaminergic, so you produce dopamine, and then it's analgesic, so you actually feel less pain in your body. So if you have a purpose in your life that's big enough and you have a why, your body will actually fight with you to attain that goal.
That's dope. We should have had him go second, because like he sounds so intellectual, and then when we come, they'll be like,
yeah, we're gonna be like, mer.
who are they?
For you, you're next. So,
nope, you're next.
I'm next.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
next.
yep.
It's the Tanisha O show, so I go last. I just feel it.
So
Like, it's
Tanisha.
about you all. This is the Sibling Addition. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Tea with Tanisha. Oh, in case I forgot to tell you, I am your forgiveness coach. Yes, I help people get unstuck. Today is a Siblings Edition. Why? Because my favorite brother is having a baby. And so we all came together to bond, to celebrate and love on him. And so I figured, what a great time to have a Siblings Edition. And since this is today's topic, here we are. And now I get video footage of it. So this is my youngest sister. She's beautiful. She's single. If you have
ready to marry, I said what you said.
Thank you.
She's single. She's my baby sister, and she's beautiful. Jazz, what would you like to add?
What was the question again?
Okay, so the comment is like, people stop before they start, and then they say it didn't work. but you didn't do it. How do you know it didn't work?
I think fear is really what drives people to not pursue any dream of theirs. It's the fear of failure, and it's the fear of possibly letting people down. And I think the fear of letting people down really has to do with the people that, like Dante was saying, that you have in your circle. Because if you have great people in your circle, they're not going to be disappointed if your dream doesn't work out for you. They're going to push you and want you to strive for more and for better. If you have the wrong people in your circle, they're going to be like, oh, you know, I told you, or you should have done this, this, and that, or you didn't do this, this, or that right. So I think ultimately it's getting out of that thought of you can't do it because your fear and you're limiting yourself based off your own like thought process, because it didn't happen. So you don't know if you're going to fail, because you can succeed, and you know, you never know if you're going to succeed.
Right.
But I think it's really that, and then surrounding yourself with people that push you to be the best version of yourself.
Shove you straight off the cliff.
Maybe not
off the cliff.
Oh yeah, I'm shoving people off the cliff. Like, ready, go. You'll build your wings as you go.
Yeah.
Jump and fly. See, this guy gets what I mean. You gotta jump,
But you
fly,
know
build
what?
your wings on your way.
I think it's really important, you know, like you like to shove people off the cliff, which is cool, you know what I mean? But like we're not murdering people.
No.
But I think it's also, you
Some
know,
of us.
people, you know, you have to have people that can communicate to you the way that actually gets through to you.
Yes.
Because you can have people like Tanisha, who's great and she can push you, but maybe you're more timid and you need someone to just kind of
Yeah.
like a slow,
And Tanisha's shoving.
slow nudge off the cliff.
Yeah, nope. I'm coming straight for you because you've been timid so long. The shoving is gonna it's gonna get the dopamine that he told you that you need to build.
More like
inside.
adrenaline. Pure adrenaline at this point.
Whatever Dante told you, you're gonna have that. I love what you just said. How about, and it's true, you do need to surround yourself with the people, but sometimes the people that you surround yourself with are there to baby you and coddle you, and that's why you haven't grown, because you're with the people who aren't going to push you too hard. Just give me a nudge. And then you get that shock factor when somebody just shoved you off and you're like, it worked. As you're flying, you're like, it worked. And so it's great. You might wet your pants, but that's okay.
So you can buy new pants.
You can, exactly. Tanisha,
There's so
I
many.
don't know.
Michaela,
Like,
there's so many pants. Like so
Levi's.
many. Mom and Michaela get ready. Levi's, yeah, jeans, sweats. We can do all that. Hey, jeggings.
Jeggings.
Tanisha.
Yeah.
Jeggings are good. They don't even know you wet yourself.
What is your
It's a tough,
Depending on the
crowd
color.
to follow. Oh my God.
That's my brother. Depending on the color, so wear black pants. That's your tip for the day.
In case you have to like a little drizzle might come out. You know, I think basically just kind of piggybacking on really just what everyone's saying, especially what Jazz was just saying. You know, your greatest step or your greatest move is always outside of your comfort zone. You know, it's so easy to get complacent, and really like the richest people or the people who are the most successful, they all tell you the only reason why they're there isn't because they didn't fail, it's because they didn't quit.
That's good.
And that's the biggest thing in anything. I mean, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, people are so afraid to fail, but failure, it's the difference of what you view failure as. Failure is really just a lesson. It's really just teaching you, you know, how to do it right the next time.
Right.
And that's really all failure is. Failure is only failure when you quit. If you stop, then yes, you failed because you didn't keep trying to get you to the next level.
That's good.
So that's really all it is. You have to decide, just like what Tanisha was saying, like, or even what Dante was saying, you have to figure out your why.
Right.
Figure out why you feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing. And once you have that in your mind, there's really no other reason. Always go back to that. There was a reason that you started. So keep remembering why you started, which is why you keep going, keep getting back up.
I love it. Mom, Michaela? Michaela, come on, drop your wisdom. Mom, come on, quick. We're live. We know she got something. Well,
you created the sibling.
okay, Michaela, you're a sibling, so
Yep.
get on in here.
Michaela's a sibling. Michaela's a sibling.
Michaela, bring it on. Hey,
You're not gonna have a
Michaela, bring
choice.
it on. Hey, bring it on, Michaela, bring it on, Michaela, bring it on, Michaela, bring it on, Michaela, Michaela, bring it on. Hey, Michaela, bring it on. come on, you sit by Dante. I'll scoot over this way. Here comes Michaela. Where's
Where's
she?
There's my brother's fiance.
Yes,
For those that are wondering.
Yes,
Pregnant
she's not
fiance.
single. She's
Pregnant.
Carter.
You have no choice. No,
Here we
no
go.
chance.
There we
There's
go.
no chance.
There we go.
So what was the question? What do you repeat it?
Yeah. So, what would you tell someone who quits or wants to quit before they even try something?
I think it's a lot easier to live a life in your head where you're surrounded by your fears and judgments. And so
Bring your face in.
your fear of failure really prevents you from doing anything as long as like you just don't take that first step. So I think if you chunk it down and you just take that first step, as minuscule as it may be, so if you want to start a company or if you're just wanting to do something outside of your comfort zone, just taking that very small first step, that will give you enough confidence to continue. And once you have that confidence, you can start, a snowball effect and allowing yourself to push forward in that achievement. And even if you fail in that first step, it's about picking something else then and continuing down that path. But as long as, just like you were mentioning, as long as you don't quit, it's really not a failure, it's just a lesson.
Y'all see, okay, they say you're supposed to surround people who are like smart and y'all see, my people have some good sense. This is mi familia. Mom, come on in. We know she want to add some nuggets in here. She tries to play shy, but she ain't
Here, you
shy.
can have my seat.
No, where are you
No,
going?
what am I?
She's gonna right here.
Go in the
This is the guest
This
seat
is the
right here.
guest speaker. We are the hosts,
This is
and
the
these
guest.
are our guests.
The guest panel.
This is the guest panel. Okay, Mom.
So what I've learned is
You
that
see, she came ready. You didn't have to ask the question again. Yes.
what I've learned is piggybacking on everyone else, is that when you want to start something, start small. And I want you to know that a lot of times you need to keep your vision to yourself. You know who you're surrounded by. You know when you speak with them that if they're negative or if they're positive. If you have friends that always are looking at the glass half empty, then those aren't the people you share your vision with. You always share your vision with the people that feel like the glass is almost full or half full. All those people that are behind you that are your best cheerleaders, that's who you share with vision. I feel like people get discouraged a lot because they share their vision with the wrong people. And sometimes family could be the worst people that you share with. We
Amen.
just happen to be a family that are all have businesses in some way or another. We all have, business license and all that kind of stuff. So we just happen to be that type of family, but every family is not like that. It's just a blessing because that's just the way we think. But that's a different foundation that was laid. But what I'm going to suggest to you, start small, keep building, keep surrounding yourself around people that are your cheerleaders. If they aren't, cut them. Don't talk to them you talk to them about the sky is blue, the grass is green. You don't talk to them about vision and purpose because they will be your discouragers. Because a lot of people get discouraged because of what they're hearing. Always guard up your eye gate, your ear gate, and keep your mouth covered so you know when to speak and when not to speak. That's when your vision comes into fruition. Sometimes you just need to go into a silent place. Think about Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all the people that are famous, and how many times, like Ford, Dante, you were telling me about how many times they failed when they first started off, and they failed so many times. Even think of people like Benjamin Franklin. I don't know if he was the one that invented electricity. We're not going into that story. However, how many
I don't
times?
think it was Benjamin Franklin.
But whoever.
Thomas Edison for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Well, anyway, but
That was electricity.
but anyway, just think about how many times they failed. If you study the people that are successful, you will see how many times they failed before they succeeded. But nobody knows about their past. They only know about where they're going, right? So just be one of those people, because you know it's easy to sit down and be complacent. You know we're most creative and inventors and all the people that are very out of the box, and all the creators are, most of them that have died with their dreams, they're in the grave, because they just don't go forward, and then they die on the inside because they let too many things on the outside keep them from being on purpose. So just walk in purpose, stay surrounded in a tight knit circle. You might get excited and accidentally tell somebody that you shouldn't have, and you'll regret it. So just be to yourself and be around people that are encouragers. That's all I have to say. No.
So, thanks, Mom. So I think that one, you've heard it, right? Like we've We get you in there, Dante. How can we get you in there, Dante? You should come sit closer to us. Hey, act like you know us and stuff. Like
You guys smell.
I know. It's all the cake.
With
All
the
the
cake.
cake. So y'all heard him. Stop starting before you start. I feel like it's one of the biggest things that I hear. And a lot of times the core of all of that is unforgiveness. You haven't forgiven yourself for the perceived failures. You haven't forgiven yourself for whatever mistake you feel like you've made in the past. You haven't forgiven yourself for the fact that you should have done it earlier. You haven't forgiven yourself for not doing it as quickly, or it's too slowly, or whatever it is. Forgiveness is at the core of all, unforgiveness is at the core of all of this. So take a moment to really dive into what you're really afraid of. Because what your words are saying is, it didn't work. But really what your heart is saying is, I'm afraid to put myself out there one more time. And I'm afraid of not getting it right. And I'm afraid of what people will think. And I'm afraid. It's all of this fear. So really get in there and get really honest and transparent and have an authentic conversation with yourself to discover what's really hurting you and what's really keeping you back. But don't quit before you start. Don't say it won't work before you even try it. And it's one of the number one things that I hear, so that you can say, I told you it wasn't going to work. If you go into anything, I promise you 100%, every single thing that you go into and you promise that it's not going to work and you have all the reasons why it won't work, guess what? It's not going to work. Go into it with the idea that it's going to work, but release your desire to have the outcome the exact way. That's where the biggest mistake is. Like, things are going to come up, but you have to release the idea of how it's going to happen. You just have to say, this is what's going to happen. I don't know how we're getting there. Doesn't even matter. But this is what's going to happen, and release the attachment to it has to happen this way, because it might be this. You understand? It's going to be a whole different journey than the one that you're ready to take. And listen, when God sends blessings, most times it's packaged like work. That's the problem. Most people are afraid of that word, work. Anytime you say that you are victorious, in order to be victorious, you just went through a battle. You cannot be victorious without going through a battle. Victory comes after a battle. You have to get ready to go through whatever it is to get to the other side. I love y'all. I cannot thank you enough for joining. This is probably the first ever Siblings edition of Tanisha O. And let me just shout these people out right now in public. Here's my receipt. For anybody who's wondering, how did Tanisha O get started? It was this guy's idea who told me, remember that conversation where he's like, you gotta just have a show. Your personality's too big. It was this guy. And my website, when I didn't even know what that was supposed to look like, it was this girl right here who put that whole website together. And the best cheerleader ever, it was this one right here. When I was like, am I too strong? Should I come across a little lighter? She would read all my stuff, my book, my everything. And she would read everything and be like, okay, maybe try this and this. So for all of you who have siblings and you're the oldest, I'm the oldest. The fun thing about this is that I'm the oldest, but I was still excited and humble enough to know where he was so much better at things than I was. And although he's a millennial and y'all got all that stuff to talk, you need to let the people who are around you, who know more than you in certain areas, let them guide you. I know what I know, but he knows what he knew. She knows what she knows. And I know that her personality is so opposite of my firecracker personality that I needed to water some things down in order to come across, it's true, in a certain way. And then the beautiful part is that we have a great mom who's supportive. Like, we could come up with the most random ish ever, and she's like, yeah, and you're like, so you never feel like you can fail with mom. It could be the most ridiculous thing. She's like, that's great, and you're like, okay. And like, how can you feel like you're failing when you have a cheerleader or a mom, even when it's like, what is it? Wait, what? And she's like, yes, go get him. So I just want to publicly say that I am who I am. You guys already know I rock hard with my husband. My husband is the dopest, like the dopest. God knew who he blessed me with when I got him. I have the most amazing children, but I also have amazing siblings as well that I love so much. So whether you're the oldest and you feel like I'm too old for this, well, that's why you're still stuck. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, what y'all know? Because I don't know. And that's how I continue to grow. I love y'all. From my family to yours, continue to forgive, heal, and grow with Tanisha O. And we're going to see you soon. Ciao. Good job, guys.